Hey there guys, it's Zero Methanol here from DoubleCrossedGaming, and I thought I'd do a quick video on some of the changes which could happen to Tribes Ascend soon. Basically, I was one of the few people invited into a meeting to discuss the future of Tribes from a competitive point of view, and Hi-Res were turning to the community to really see what our input was and how we should fix things such as snipers and raiders being ridiculously overpowered at the moment. The footage in the background is actually from a mixed I played earlier today. I wouldn't pay much attention to it, in fact I played horribly in it, but I figured something in the background's better than nothing, right? Okay, so basically we discussed four things. We discussed the case of the raider at the moment, the case of the soldier at the moment, snipers, and of course chasing. And so I'm going to go through what we discussed about each one and basically what the outcome was. Again, nothing from this meeting is completely official until we see it in paper in writing in a couple of days. I'm basically going to read this off at a bit of a list. I'm not going to go into much detail on it, but first of all, raiders. We came to the conclusion that we're probably going to end up nerfing the shield pack a bit, and there's definitely going to be a nerf to chaingun. But when I say chaingun, I actually mean every automatic gun. Bart said something like he was thinking of reducing the damage of all SMGs by 15 per bullet and all assault rifles by 5. So that kind of makes the assault rifles better in comparison to the SMGs. It's a bit of an indirect buff to the assault rifle. I think you should look at it that way rather than a nerf to SMGs. They also said why the hell does the EMP grenade drain a ton of energy and do a ton of damage, so I wouldn't be surprised if you saw the damage reduced on EMP grenades. But yeah, mostly I think we're going to see a bit of tweaking to the shield pack, because right now raiders, they put on the shield pack, they do a lot of damage and then they'll take some cover, wait for their energy to come back up, and then they'll just go do more damage again, and it's ridiculous. They can stay alive for a stupid amount of time. And next we move on to the soldier, and there's actually some pretty interesting stuff here. First of all, we need a buff to the assault rifle. That seemed quite obvious to everyone there. And I don't think you're actually going to see the assault rifle doing any more damage. Like I said a minute ago, I think they're going to reduce the damage of the SMGs a lot more than the assault rifle. So all chains are going to come down in general, but the assault rifle will be better in comparison. They also brought up the spin fuser assault rifle combination, and I'm not too sure about it. I mean, a lot of people are saying the spin fuser, it's a unique weapon to Tribes. It looks pretty, so if you're watching the game, it's a lot more interesting to see spin fuser shots everywhere than chaingun shots, and that's fair enough. But then I can't see anyone using the pistol. If you got spin fuser assault rifle, why would you go pistol thumper? But we'll have a look at that later anyway. Speaking of the pistol, it was a general consensus that any weapon that you have to spam click, so the light assault rifle, eagle pistol, sparrow pistol, if anyone even uses that anymore, you can just hold down the left mouse button. I would almost guarantee that will be in a week or so now, which is pretty cool. As well as the screen shake being removed, because I don't know if any of you have done defense, but if you do defense, which I rarely do, when you get attacked by a chain gun, you can't see shit. Your entire screen shakes so badly, and basically it's just not good. So everyone's saying that they should take it off, or at least make it an optional, well, an option in the options. That sounds strange. So I'm hoping so. It's going to make a lot of people's lives a lot easier, and it's going to bring the skill ceiling a little bit higher as well, I think. I mean, generally anything that's random reduces the skill ceiling, which moves me nicely on to the next thing we suggested: recoil or spread. This is all ways to reduce the effectiveness of automatic guns, because as we all know, automatics are... I mean, I think someone said the other day, if someone's landing constant mid-air to a spin fuser, he's doing like a third of the DPS that someone with 100% accuracy with a chain gun does, and that's ridiculous considering how easy it is to use a chain gun compared to a spin fuser. Anyway, so recoil and spread. Recoil, I actually suggested this, it was me that suggested this. I figured if it's a static recoil, as in your cursor's going to move up by X amount every single time, then that can be counted with skill. and all that will do is increase the skill level, and it will make people that are brilliant at chain guns stand out for people that are good at chain guns. A lot of people suggested random spread as well, but I don't really like that. But to be honest, that seems like the more popular option, so random spread on chain guns might be coming in. Yep. Next. Snipers. Great. Basically snipers are ridiculously overpowered in competitive scene. If you're playing sniper in a public game, you see a lot of people that go, oh my god, sniper rifle, it only does 500 damage a bullet, or something like it takes 7 shots to kill a heavy. Guys, if you're shooting heavies with a sniper rifle, you're doing it wrong. And it takes 2 shots to kill a light. And here's the most important bit. If you land a single bullet on a capper when they're setting up a capping route, you're going to completely screw them over. You're going to mess up their regen, they're going to have to suicide and restart their route. And that's what makes the sniper rifle so overpowered. Nothing to do with the damage, it's just the fact that it's hit scan, it's got ridiculous range, and a single bullet messes up a route. So, what was suggested was a delay on all of the sniper rifles. So the sniper rifle is going to have a much higher delay. Snipers are going to have to be a lot more accurate, they can't just spam bullets around. But this will also increase the damage on the rifle. I think they were saying something along the lines of the bolt launcher, so it's going to be like 877 or something. So it can't one-shot a light, but it might as well. You know, to be honest, that's fair, because if you're capping in a competitive scene and you take a bullet, you're buggered anyway. Doesn't matter if the bullet was 10 damage or 500. So I'm okay with that. They also said there's going to be a smaller area on spotting people. I mean, normally if you're playing Sentinel or even D, you just kind of look over that hill where a capper is going to be coming in, you press Alt, and suddenly you spot a capper which isn't in that hill at all. He's in a hill 2 hills away, but the radius that you can spot people is massive. And if you get spotted in the comp game, then you're going to have a hell of a hard time grabbing the flag. So that's going to be a smaller area to spot people. Next in the list of sniper nerfs, the Falcon nerf. Falcon is ridiculously overpowered. In fact, most people don't think it should even be on the Sentinel. I mean, if a Sentinel gets a nice shot on a Raider, then a Raider and a Sentinel in 1-on-1, sometimes the Sentinel will even win. And that shouldn't happen. It's just a ridiculously easy SMG to use, but I mean, I'm a bit biased. I mean, I play Kappa, but then I also play Sentinel as well, so I'm trying to be as even-minded as I can. Where is it? There's, oh yeah, this is a bit of a change to everything. They're saying about the lethality. What I mean by lethality is, in tribes at the moment, most fights can last 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and basically, I think it was Arcadizzle which came up with this, and he's completely correct. You need to reduce, if you want to reduce the damage on SMGs, you've also got to reduce the damage on every weapon. The lethality in tribes is too high at the moment. Fights need to last longer. And I think Hi-Rez took his suggestion a bit seriously, we'll see. And we might be seeing an overall nerf to every weapon in the game. Might. You know, don't quote me on that, it's only what was discussed. And they were also thinking that maybe Sentinels can't shoot while they're in their immunity, you know, when they've just respawned and they're immune to damage. Because sometimes on Crossfire, a sniper will spawn, hey look, he's on a top platform, he can see the entire map. He's got 5 seconds to line up a shot while he knows he can't take any damage from the disruption. But yeah, that's pretty much all on snipers. And then there's chasers next, but chasers and snipers, chasers, snipers, cappers, it all comes in hand. You can't buff or nerf one without affecting the other. And lastly but not least, we got chasing. And basically, chasing's kind of impossible at the moment due to cappers going 400 and... yeah, well, due to cappers going 400. So, they're trying to make chasing a proper part of tribes. To do that, really, you've got to change the entire physics of the game. But everyone knows that you're not going to do that now. It's been released, for God's sake. If it was, it should have happened in alpha, let alone, or even beta. So they've had to go with a band-aid fix, which is of course the rage perk. But the rage perk is still not good enough. So we came to the conclusion that rage should proc on half of the map radius, because any decent chaser won't be waiting on the bloody stand, he'll get destroyed. So most chasers wait around the midfield anyway, and then if someone grabs the flag, they quickly try and cut them off. So yeah, rage is going to be roughly half the map, or it's going to be a lot bigger anyway. And it won't trigger on field grabs. So if you grab the flag from the field, then it's tough, no rage for you. Which is pretty cool because it means that if they knock the flag, if they knock the flag into a hard to grab location, and you do manage to grab it, then good on you. You know, you deserve that grab, and you're not going to get chased for it because rage won't trigger. I really can't talk today. Another situation where this is quite good is if, say, you got two cappers coming from opposite directions. One capper grabs, and everyone starts chasing that capper, and then suddenly he passes off to the other capper going in the opposite direction, and suddenly all of the chasers need to turn around, but they've lost their rage now and they can't chase. You know, situations like that. Also, quite importantly, they're going to increase the impulse on disc jumping, mainly because a chaser can get away with doing a disc jump. You know, he'll regenerate. Cappers can't really do disc jumps, not after they grab the flag. If they do one, it's usually in a panic, or if they lost their speeds and they just need to get away from the sniper or something. So it's quite cool. Disc jumping impulse. It's going to make cappers quicker, but it's going to make chasers even more quicker. It's a buff to everything, but it's more of a buff to chasers. I like it. It's pretty cool. And everyone knows that disc jumping impulse is shite anyway. Also, they're going to increase the hitbox of the flag in the field, so, but not on the stand. So if you want to grab it from the stand, you still need reach, but it's going to make passing a lot easier in the air, and retrieving, because obviously if you're a chaser, you can't run, rage, and reach at the same time. And that's really it. There's one more huge change which Bart kind of accidentally told us, I think, and that's that they're removing rock roots. And I can imagine the cry of 1,000 cappers now, because I know so many people, including myself, that spent hours practicing those ones. But yeah, they're gone now. So stuff like that's happening in this video now, you're probably never going to see again, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. Also, Bart was saying that he's going to bring in new maps. I think Danger's Crossing, is that one? He said that's going to come in. I might have that name mixed up. And they did suggest Roller Coaster. I mean, I never played the old Tribes game, so this means nothing to me, but it might do to some of you guys. Either way, old Tribes maps coming in. Also, they were talking about mirroring some maps and making them competitive. Like, they would take the entire Diamond Sword side of Katabatic and mirror it. So, you'd have a completely fair Katabatic map. Which is, to be honest, I think Katabatic's one of the fairest maps of them all, being completely different. It's really good, but, you know, each to their own. Anyway, guys, if you want to see all of the discussion, and it's 3.5 hours, so I really suggest you don't, because I don't know who's got that much time on their hands, then I'll put a link in the description below. Otherwise, I will also summarize everything that's changing in a nice little document at the bottom, so you can actually have a look. Anyway, cheers for watching, guys, and it's interesting to see how many of these changes go live and how many don't. See you guys.